Model Making Guru is sponsored by emodels.co.uk. Make something awesome. Hey everyone, it's Foxx from modelmaking.guru here. Hello, and welcome to the next exciting instalment of DeAgostini's Build Your Own X-Wing Partwork video build series. Now this of course isn't DeAgostini's Partwork video build series, it's DeAgostini's Partwork, it's my video build series. As a disclaimer, I am of course provided this partwork free of charge by DeAgostini because they're lovely, awesome, fluffy little people and I love them dearly. I'm not being paid for this though, this is just, I'm doing this for myself. So just in the interest of transparency, I'm being provided this free of charge. Now today we're going to be looking at issue 60. It's Friday by the way, so happy Friday. Weekend coming up. We're going to be looking at issue 60. But as always, before we get going, let's have a quick look at the magazine. Now you should notice by the way, yeah, I know they've only got so many beauty shots to use and background colours. But you're thinking the same pack of 5, they could have just not used the same ones. Never mind, moving on. Anyway, yes, see, I'm not paid for, I can say what I want on this build series. Anyway, I'm talking rubbish already. Issue 60, let's have a look. Now, we are having a look at Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I have to say, straight up, never played it. Never played any of the Battlefront games, well, apart from one on 360 a million years ago, was it original Xbox. But I'm not going to play any because I refuse to give EA any money. I can't stand EA. They churn out crap most of the time. Not all the time. They churn out crap and they monetize it really horribly. So I don't really wish to support EA and play any of their games. So I've no idea. I've not played it. I understand it's a very good game. I don't believe in their monetization practices and their loot box practices. No. So we're just going to gloss over that. Yes. Don't really care. Next. We have Lando Calrissian, blurb on Lando. I think Lando, you see, Han Solo is supposed to be like the suave, debonair one, but he's not. He's roguish. Lando is suave and debonair. He's got the style, he's got the moves, he's got the ship. Yeah, it's a lot of blurb about Lando. I guess this is taken from a graphic novel or a comic book again, written by the artwork. But look at that little smug, little sort of, yeah, hey, I know. Oh yeah. So yes, bit of Lando goodness. The Imperialis. The concept of Emperor Palpatine owning a pleasure yacht might seem bizarre, but the bespoke Corvette for Imperialis was outwardly exactly that. This is clearly some background lore type stuff that I don't know about because I've not read the comics. But there you go. Here is Syndulla. And then we have the buildy part where we're building the ancient Buddhist temples into the wings. Chinese temples? Buddhist, I can't remember which one it is now. It's like a Chinese. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Lots of wingy parts. Put all these bits together. Now I'm filming this before I've done the tube parts, so I hope the tube parts went well yesterday. I don't know. Oh, we've got more tube parts. Yeah, I forgot about them. Oh well, never mind. And then we've got this building to do. When this is done, that is, I think, the wing will actually be complete. And in the next issue, we'll be moving on to new territories. I hope. I haven't seen it yet because we haven't got there yet. I haven't opened that box yet. And on the back, you've got a rather dashing picture of Lando. Look at that. I mean, look at that. Just awesome. It's so 1970s and yet awesome. But no, again, no little descriptive page, no beauty shot in this issue, so I can't read anything out to you, but never mind. So that is issue 60. Let me go and get all the bits ready and we'll finish up this wing. Okay, so let's crack on and get these bits done, get issue 60 complete, and that's it. Then we finished the no, we haven't. I thought we were going to finish the final wing, but there's going to be some more stuff to do after this issue because we've got to do the laser cannon. Oh, nearly finished the wing. Then we'll nearly finish the wing. Anyway, let's crack on. So we have another little palette of tiny pieces. Now I've taken the cover off, but I'm going to leave them in here because there are some really small bits. I don't want to lose them. But we do need this one and this one. And I think this one as well. I should just get the tweezers, it'd be easier. I'm going to very carefully put that over there. Again, when you take this apart, like the clamshell, make sure there's nothing stuck in the top piece. Put all these bits over here, out of the way, carefully. I do not want to knock that. Oh, we've got some screws as well. Let me just take the screws out. I'm not prepared at all. I didn't prepare, did I? I'm an idiot. So what do we have? We have XW01. I've had any of them for a while. Big bad boys, XW01s. Put them in there. There we go. And we've got some XW02s, which are, I think, by far the most common of these. There's escapee. Most common of these that we've had so far. So there we go. That's all those. Knife blade away. Knife safety. DJ knife safety. So, first thing we need to do is put these three bits together. This should be fairly straightforward. We have the plate here, which looks like that. If you do it that way around and do it on camera as well, would be a good idea. We then have this piece which sits in like that. And those two go together. Now, when I did the other one on the other side of the wing, I did glue these together, but you don't actually need to do that really. Then these go on the wing. Let me see if I can do this without knocking things everywhere. Oh no, it doesn't go on there yet. Not yet, Fox. Goes on here, this other piece that we got, which you can see there, the shape, it just neatly fits into that shape there. What I will do, now that's locked in place, is get this one on as well, this little piece here. This may well be, if you can see it, this may well be the DeAgostini version of a universal greeble. I do encourage you to go and look up the universal greeble. It's a part of a Leopold railway gun kit from the 1970s that was used so often in, I can't get this in now, so often in models that Industrial Light and Magic made in the 70s that they actually made moulds of it and made their own and made them all different sizes. Now that may or may not be a universal greeble, I'm not 100% sure. All I know is I can't get this little, there we go, little bugger in there. That's on. I'm going to take some glue just to lock these in place. They're not likely to come out, but better if they don't. So a touch of glue on that side there. I've moved the camera and I've got no idea where it is, so I apologise if I suddenly go out of shot. And yes, you are going to see the back of my hand, I'm afraid. So that's there. Now this needs to go on to wing. But it needs to, I'm going to move this out though because I can see that getting knocked by the wing. So I'm going to put that all the way over there, completely out of the way, so it can't get destroyed by the wing. Now this needs to sit inside the wing like that. Like that, you see? How's it locking? I can't remember how this locks in place now. How does this go in place, dear boy? I like the two pit. Oh, there's two holes there. Look with your eyes, Fox. I'm so busy looking at other things. That sits on there like that. Clamps into place. And that's not likely to come off, but I'm not going to glue it just in case I need to, for any reason at all, take it off again. Plus, I think I also don't want to catch that wire in there. There's a little wire that's just stuck around the back of it. Let's just get that out. Hang on. I don't want to trap my wire in there. See, I've got the wire going down there like that. I don't quite want that. Let's just... See, I can't get this thing out now. Right, there we go. Oh no, the wire was already pushed down there. That's fine. So we'll put that back on again. There we go. Spang it on like that. It's not compressing the wire or damaging it, thankfully. That is on. Clunk. And that concludes that little greeble there, which is very nice. Big fat engine. I won't plug it in, I'd blind you. But that's on there. That's never likely to come off, I don't think. And I think it gets held in place with the bits that go on top anyway. Yes, so let's put this to one side. Next we have the little grey details. So let me get those ready and we'll do that. Okay, so to start with, we have these 5 grey parts. We've got this piece here, which is very, very happy and smiley. Yay! And we've got these 2 top pieces and these 2 little square pieces here. Now, actually, I got it wrong earlier on. I think these are, in fact, the universal greeble, because if you look at that, that looks more to me like a universal greeble. It looks similar. It's not exactly the same. If you look up the part, you'll see what it's supposed to look like. It looks very similar. Now, these 2 pieces this one and this one are chiral. That means they go a certain way around. They're not the same. What you have to do to make sure you get them the right way around is hold them with the hole showing like that. So like that. And what you've got is 2 little holes on this piece. You've got 2 little holes on the side there and 2 little holes on that side. On this one, they need to be on the right hand side. So that's a left side. And on this one, the holes are on the left hand side, so it's the right hand side. So keep them lined up so you know where they go. Don't get them mixed up. I'm going to put them over here out of the way. It's very important you get them the right way around, because those holes are where some pipes go in later. So you don't want to screw that up. So all we need to do first, oh good God, look at that, the photograph here. Oh, knocking the camera. Look at the massive nasty big chunk of nub on there and on there. Look at that. They don't even bother cleaning it up. Wow. I think these are prototype parts because they're very roughly painted. Anyway, shut up, Fox. So align the D-shaped lug on one of the small details. Or I think these are universal greebles. So you have a D-shaped lug. It's not a complete circle. And you have a D-shaped hole. It's fairly straightforward. Spong it in there like that. Straightforward to do, but not necessarily on camera. Yeah, so that just goes in there like that. Click. Same on the other one. A bit of D-shaped lug and D-shaped hole. Apologies if this is off camera or in the back of my hands. That's those 2 in. Again, making sure you keep them on the right and left sides. Fit the rectangular lug on the left detail into the matching lug on the left of the bulkhead. I think it means matching hole. There's the hole. Stop going over there, Fox, honestly. Just boom. This bit on the top, this little spool piece, so it needs to be that block there, just sits into that hole. Making sure you do it with this piece at the rear, this piece at the back. You don't want it that bit there, you want it that way. It's that one. And then this one is the same on the other side, so just spadoo. Don't need to glue these in because these are rock solid. And this is an interior engine part that's never going to get into contact with anything anyway, so you don't need to glue those on. Now what you need to do next is take the shiny that you made in the last episode and quite simply attach it to here. So you've got a non-circular shape. I'll just throw things. And we've got the non-circular shape here, making sure these bits are in there like that. It looks like the kind of faceplate on an engine of a steam train. Time flies by when you're the driver of a train. You know, when you look out the front window there and you'd be stood here putting fuel into the shut up. Moving on. So there we go. That's that bit there. That goes on there. Now we have many tubes and pipes. Now we need to make a little note here. So we have carefully tipping these out, making sure we've not lost any, like that one. We'll do the silver ones first because we don't need the other ones yet. So we have a list here in the instructions. Now it may be these. Are these actually full size? Almost. I'm going to put them on the instructions so you can't see them. I'm going to put the instructions, put them on the instructions so I know which is which. So give me a moment. This is tricky because they're all different shapes and sizes and they go different ways around. That is. I'll be back in a minute. Let me go and sort which is which. You don't really want to sit here looking at the desk while I'm fiddling around over here. Back in a minute. Okay, so there we go. So I've got them lined up. They're not one-to-one size. They're not actual size, but you just get an idea for the shape. And you do need to know which is which. Yeah, because it's going to get a little bit confusing if you go wrong. Now, when you did the first build of these, one of the first engine, the first wing, it didn't make any sense at all. It was like, wait, this pipe doesn't fit where it's supposed to fit. Then when it got to issue 16, when you had to do the next lot, they had a little card saying, yeah, we printed it wrong. Here's the thing for issue 16, issue 29, I think it was. Please use this list from now on. Yeah, they printed it wrong in the first one. So if you've had problems with the first one going together properly, or if you're getting this and you have that, just keep an eye open. Just make sure you got the right tubes into the right place. If they don't look like they fit properly, they don't. Put them where you think they fit. Anyway, let's do this. So I've got the same problem that we had with the other things. I've put them on there and I've got to turn the page over. So I'm going to have to line them up here in the right order. So that one, A, B. I've done it again, haven't I? C. D. I forgot I've got to pick them up and move the page. So just, yeah, don't be like Fox. Try and use your brain and do actual thinking. I know it's difficult, I know it's scary, but you can do it. So let's start off with pipe A. Is this one here? And what we need to do is, this is where again you might need glue. I would say you probably will be better using glue. So this goes into here like that. That falls out because it also needs to go into the hole down here. See? Into the lower hole. You've got two little holes there. Goes into that bottom hole. Bottom hole. So that goes in there. And this actually feeds into that hole. So I'll still do it that way, it might be easier. So that feeds in there like that. I'm actually going to glue this because they're not exactly a tight fit. And they will, not all of them will fall out. As I knock the camera, of course. They're not exactly the tightest of fits. But they might fall out even while you're just putting them all together. And it can get quite frustrating, especially these ones down here. So if you can glue them, do. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much, again, unless you're doing a cutaway, which would be really cool. Sadly, these are going to be rendered invisible once the rest of the ship is built around it. You might just about see them through a little gap in the armour, but that's about it. Now we need to, then it says, now you've done the first one, just draw the owl. Yeah, never mind. So now we have to do, there's A, and we need B is, just going in now. B goes into, what? Oh, there. Where's B? There's B. B goes into the second hole. Not the bottom hole, but the other bottom hole. There's my tweezers. If I can do this. This might be something that I have to speed up on film. Because it might be that I'm doing this and it just gets really tedious because it takes 15 attempts. Or, ooh, it might go in first time. It might not. Attempted the wrath of the whatever from high atop the thing, and I didn't get attacked by the whatever from high atop the thing. I did drop it though. So now if I hadn't glued that first pipe in there, you probably would have found that while I was fiddling around with the second pipe, the first one would have come out. Now to be fair, of course these do have paint on them. This is painted. This isn't just silver plastic, it's painted plastic. To be fair, I'm trying to glue paint to paint, so if you were being really proper careful and clever, you'd scrape the paint off, but it should be enough just to get in there, and it's only a thin coat of paint. You can sort of scratch it off almost if you try hard enough, so it should be all right. It should stick okay for the purposes we need it to. D is going to be, so where it gets tricky now. D needs to go on top of C. Let's do C first. So C actually is a bit confusing because C attaches here and then goes up to where? I see. It's not very clear. So you get this overhead shot. That one came out again. You get the overhead shot there, but it's not exactly super clear, so just pay attention. So C goes in here, I think, and then goes into the lower of the two holes there, I think. Let's see what we can do. Let's see about C. An old man went to C. I know I've not, as a song I've not heard from it since I was a little kid. An old man went to C to see what he could see. This was one of those things, you know, like when you want to like count someone and who's going to be it, who's going to be on, and you have to do ib dib, you know, ibble bobble, chocolate bobble, that kind of. I mean, you're counting in to find out who's going to be on in a game of ticket or something. And one of them was an old man went to C to see what he could see. But all that he could see was the bottom of the deep blue sea. And whoever, you do it on a hand, the old man went to, and whoever, I've just remembered that from my childhood. Talk about weird memories. I certainly do have a weird memory. Let's try it this way around. Let's try putting that end in first, and then popping that in there. That might be a bit easier for this one. Yes, outstanding. That one's in. Probably not going to come out, but I'm going to glue it anyway. Bit like Duncan Rhodes, but instead of charge everything, it's glue everything. Now, like I've said before, you don't, obviously glue is completely optional for this kit. It's not designed to have any glue, I don't think. Or at least if there is, it will tell you where. There might be a couple of bits where you're supposed to use some super glue or something, but you don't need to. But I am, just because I want to paint it up. So I need things to not be falling out left, right and centre. So D is going to be the next one along, and that's going to go in there. So the next one on my list is up there. D for the next one. This needs to go... Yeah, when you did the first issue, they just had because it was obviously designed at the prototype stage. The tubes that you were sticking on just did not match up to the things in the pictures. So you were trying to stick tube B where it needed to go, but in reality it should have been tube D or something. And either they were mislabeled in the brochure in the book, or they were mislabeled on the... I don't know how it was, but it meant that all the cables I had, all the tubes, didn't fit where they were supposed to go. And I got them to fit, but what I had to do in the end was I had ones that didn't fit into these holes here, so I had to snip them down because they were too long, because I was trying to put a D in there when it should have been a C and stuff. So they probably changed it and corrected it by the current printing. But this was, remember, this was right at the start when this thing first launched, and it's probably updated by now. E, okay, so we turn this thing out. Do we turn this thing over? Oh no. E is this one. These should be fairly straightforward now. E goes into the top there. And old man went to... So I've got them in my head now. That goes into the hole at the top there. Ting, and sits in place. That's probably never going to come out, but we'll glue it anyway in a minute. F is on the other side. Yeah, they've kind of... It goes A, B, C, D, E, F. In the old days, it was A, C, B, G, E, F in the first one. As I say, they've probably updated it massively now, and it probably makes a lot more sense. I wouldn't sweat it too much. But I say they did. They do keep an eye on it, because when it's a brand new launch, of course, anything like this, there's bound to be one or two little oopsies. We've got one or two little oopsies, and they listen to feedback, because then they issued the little paper slip in with issue. I think it was issue 16 that just said, please ignore what's in the magazine and use this, because by that point they've already printed like 3 billion copies of the magazine. There's not much they can do. But they can include a little stuffer that goes in with it, just to say, please override what's in the magazine and do this instead. G and H is going to be similar, so H goes into the top hole. Top hole? But just like these, they cross over, so I'll probably need to do G first, because G is underneath. G goes into that hole, but it goes underneath the one above it, so let's do G first. So, sorry, H. H? No. Yes. Okay, if you follow, yeah, if you do them, it's actually, oh, hang on, no, wait, that's not right. That's not right. Have I got these the way around? Hang on, I may have done. My little organisation may have been incorrect. Have I done that now? G, I've got this one wrong. G. That one goes in the bottom one, I think. We won't glue it just to make sure. In case I've messed it up, I may have got these two the wrong way around. My bad this time. Oops. Oh, get it. Oh. There we go. Right, so that's going to go in the bottom one. G goes in the bottom. That goes in there. Yeah, the other one didn't quite fit because it was the wrong one. I did it the wrong way around. That goes in there like that. To that top bit. Still doesn't quite fit. Snapped it or something. I may have done a little bit maybe. I've goofed somewhere. Doesn't seem to want to stretch all the way. See there, it's not quite meeting. It's not the end of the world. It would. Oh no, there we go. I can just about stretch it into place. Hold it with glue for a minute. It'll glue in place eventually. A little tiny bit short. And then again, having said that, it could also be that I've just not pushed that on properly like that, you spoon. There you go. That's better. It was me. Nothing wrong with the component. It's like Lego and gum. Well, it's a bit like Lego, really. If it's not working, you've probably done it wrong. Like that there. I thought the piece was a bit too short. It was the perfect length. It was just I hadn't pushed this back enough. It totally wasn't anybody's fault but my own. But there we go. That's that bit. That's the fiddly nonsense done. And that was, again, like I've said so far in a lot of these things, it was expecting it to be quite fiddly, and it actually wasn't. So next, we have these two pieces that go together. These are little sort of Buddhist temple bells, whatever you want to call them. Quite pretty. And it is a shame you'll never see this again. Well, that's the thing with these part works. It's not just... That's not going to fit properly. Let's do some jiggery pokery on that one. It's not just like a model kit of something where you just make the outer shell or something. Move these screws out the way. It's not like that, where you just make the outer shell and that's it. It's not that kind of thing. We've got some paint on the stalk here, so let's scrape that paint off. It's nice that you get some interior bits and bobs that, yes, for all intents and purposes, you're never going to see again. I'm just scraping the paint off the inside of that little hole just so it fits properly. But you've got the option then. There's certainly the option. There are, you know, people on Shapeways doing 3D printed add-on parts for this build, for, you know, to give it more detailed interiors and stuff, to add bits that aren't in this build. So yeah, there's lots of options for you. It just gives you more choices and options, basically. There we go. Bit of a manly push, like a big boy push, Fox. Big boy push. There we go. That goes in. So at least it does give you the option then if you want to build it up and do some interior detailing. I'm not going to, obviously, but you can do. Now, this needs to go on two. Yeah, you've got these holes that go in like that. And a little square peg there and a square hole. Now again, when I did the first one of these, it was really cantankerous and didn't go together well, but again, that's probably because it was the first printing. That now sits quite loosely. So press it firmly into place. I want to go firmly into place. Firmly. Curved. Pause. I don't want to force it. Not wanting to firmly go anywhere. Try pushing it. Is it going to go any further than that? Weird. I don't want to go very far into that hole. It says push it firmly into place, but it's not really going much further than just sitting on top. That goes in, and this one must. There we go. You've just got to really push it hard and try not to pop out all the sticks. Okay, that, yes, they have improved this from the first one I built. I think the second and third one were okay, but I just remember the first one I built just did not stay in place at all. So again, they have improved it. So I think now if you're subscribing to this now, they probably vastly improved the whole thing. But that's the thing, you know, you get the advantage of that if you're not subscribing straight away. Two black pipes which angle the... Okay, so we've got the two black pipes which are over here. Zwei schwarzen Pipen gefahren. That was sticking in. Look, that's stuck in there with static cling. You have to watch for that. I think the first of the two black pipes. Are they both the same? Why? I don't know. Let's find out. Are they the same? I don't know. No, 1 point's up, 1 point's down. Okay. Which angles this way? So the first black pipe angles that way. That way. Okay, so the straight end goes into here. And that bit goes, there we go. So that just sits like that, basically. So I think this has been much improved. That sits in there. Oops-a-daisy. These are going to be more tight fits. Don't force anything. There's a big chunk of something on there. Let me file that down a little bit. Oh, knocking the camera. Big chunk of plastic sticking out there. So let me just file that away a little tiny bit. But it doesn't get... It's just fouling the plastic going into the hole. That goes in there. Faces the wrong way because I've done it the wrong way around. There we go. The right way, it might help. That sits in there. And we're in. There we go. Push that down there. That can sit with a touch of glue on it in a minute. So like that. I will apply the touch of glue. A bit like touch of frost, but without as much sandwich stealing. If you watch Touch of Frost, you know he's always nicking someone's sandwich while they're eating it and he's talking to them. And this one was the same. This will sit on that side there. I don't know how watchable this has been with my jam-handed jam-handed, ham-fisted. It's all the kind of foods today. Attempts to get things to go into holes. You have to push down a little bit on that one to get it to go in. Same again. Now you'll notice when I'm putting the glue on here, at least taking a tiny touch of the paint off. Don't care. It's all going to get repainted. All going to get repainted. Doesn't matter. So I'm saying, if you're not repainting this, and goodbye, if you're not repainting this, then you probably don't want to be waving glue around quite so much. That is that bit done. So let me go and get the rest of the bits ready, and we'll do the next step. Okay, so now the last step here is to get this installed. Now what you need to keep an eye on is this tab here, that hole there. And what's going to happen is this tab here, there, needs to go into that hole there, and that hole there needs to be surrounded or surround that peg there. Now it's kind of fiddly, and the best way I can think to do it, and following the instructions as best you can, feed this through like this. Try and get it kind of fairly level and straight, because it doesn't feel like it's going to fit. Get it fairly horizontal, and then what you kind of need to do, and I don't know if I can do this on camera because it's so fiddly, you kind of have to push this along whilst trying to navigate back here. I can't really do it so you can see it, but it's possible to show you really. I can't, it's just, you have to just manhandle it basically. There's no real delicate way to put it. You have to kind of, it doesn't feel like it's going to fit until you get it to that point there. It will kind of just suddenly fall into place eventually if you're lucky, but a lot of times it won't. You have to push that bit down and it will almost fit, and then you can't really see under here, but under there you can just about see the peg where that hole, it's looking for a hole. I'm going to make it find the hole, kind of, clink, it's in. That's what's in place. I can push that down, click, click, we're in. There we go. It's a bit wobbly, but we've got a screw to put in now. Unfortunately, I do apologise if that was like, what the hell have I just watched, because it's hard for me to do that and show it all at the same time. It's really hard to actually get a grip of all of that and manhandle it and do it on camera, but you just have to kind of wiggle it around. It doesn't feel like it's going to go together, and then it goes and slicks into place. So that's that done. Next we need to secure that in place with an screw, and for that we need an XW01 screw. So I'm going to put it back there. Where's my screws? XW01, little screwdriver. Where is, there it is, XW01. I'm going to put the screws over here. We know how to put them, that's going to be safe. XW01 screw. This is just going to sit, got the camera in kind of the wrong place really. This is just going to sit right here into the middle there. This locks this engine part into place. If it goes in. There we go. I'm just being very conscious of the gold bit. I don't want to snap anything on the other side. That can go in there, and I'll just get my big Millennium Falcon screwdriver just to push it home a final turn. There we go. So that's now in. That ain't going nowhere, no nothing neither. Doesn't quite line up, but you're not going to see that. Trust me, you're not going to notice. Where are we? So that's there. All lined up everywhere else. It doesn't quite line up here, but I think we'll live. We will live. It's not the end of the world. So that's there. Next step is to the gyro cone assembly. Where's that gone? There it is. Next step is the gyro cone assembly, which sits here like, where does this go? Sits loosely, I think, like that. Kaplunk. Lovely. Just slots into place, and then we take the cover, which is this one. You remember? Now remember, you've got this little sticky up bit here. Not even in focus. That little sticky up bit there, and you've got that little tiny hole there. They need to line up. So keep that in mind. We have to get this on so that this bit lines up with that hole as well. So you've got to kind of, this is why it doesn't matter that this isn't either in the middle or there's a gap, because it's going to be covered up by this paneling. So try and get that end in first, slide that down, and then line up that little thing there with the hole, push it in, done. Dead gentle, perfect fit. Again, when I got the first few issues of this, didn't quite go together quite as nicely. But again, I think they were just early production issues. And you can see why you weren't too bothered about things like the mould lines and stuff in there, because you can't see them. And when we paint this, I'm going to paint it in a very specific way. I'm not going to say now, but because I'm still planning. But when I paint this, I'll paint it in a very specific way that will make all that look awesome, but you won't see any of that. So that's on there. We're going to do some screwage to get all those attached. So we need XWO2 screws through the 32 is, okay, these 4. So it's, where's the screwdriver? So it is that one, that one, that one, and that one. And that locks all this in place. So let's get 4 of these. So XWO2 was an 03, so that would have been no use at all, Fox. And again, we're going to do what we've done all the way along so far. Gently put them in first, just a loose fit, and then thread them home when we've got all 4 in. So 02. 2. This has been a long episode, this one. Can't see that corner because my goggles don't work. My visor little thing magnifiers don't kind of work at that distance. That's there. Not all the way. I'm not doing a fully tightness. Fully tightness. Again, as always, this episode's been a complete shambles from start to finish. I do apologise. But when I do these part work videos, unlike my proper curated, very professional, let's do lots of cuts and things, for these ones, because it's mostly manufacturing and not so much painty, when I do the painting videos, we'll do proper, curated, edited, very nice professional videos. But for these, it's just putting stuff together. You've got the magazine to tell you how to do it. I'm not really showing you anything that the magazine isn't telling you. So for me, it's just more, I'll just let you join me as I do it. We'll hang out while I'm doing it. And what I'm doing with these videos is, if you've not already realised, I actually premiere all of these. They're only 10, 15, 20 minutes long. So I premiere each one. And as I knock the camera again, when I premiere it, there's live chat. So the whole point of these, really, you want to watch it when it premieres, because you can join the live chat, we can have a laugh, we can talk in chat. I'll happily talk to you in chat. And then once it's premiered, it's just a normal video then, with no live chat option. And there, I'll put the lid back on my screwdriver box. Yeah, there we have the fusible engine and the big engine componenty bit all in place. I'll just do a little sense check just to make sure. I'm not sure which one it is. Is it that one? It's that one, I think. Yes, look. Brightness, you're all blind now. Blind. I'm actually, I looked at it myself. Oh, what a bright LED that. I could get green. So yes, I'm always premiering these. The whole point is that it's more about, you should really watch the premiere, because then you can join in the chat and have fun. But I'll be premiering all of these, so there's another 5 to come. And then it's whenever the next issues turn up. So that's going to do it for this issue. That is issue 60 complete. I did think that was the end of the wing, but it's not, because we've got to do the laser cannons yet. So we've still got that to do, and we've also got, I assume, the bits under here as well. So I think the next couple of issues are going to be more wing stuff. I don't know if we'll get past the wing in the next 5 issues, but stay tuned. Now, of course, it's Friday today. You're watching this on a Friday if you're watching the premiere. So that's going to do it for this week. I will be back on Monday next week, and we'll carry on with issue 61 up to 65, and that'll be it then. Well, as always, don't forget, if you're interested in this part work and you want to get it for yourself, like me, whether you want to get it and repaint it, or whether you're happy just to get it and leave it as it is, it's really worth it. It is a really, really nice part work. I'm really enjoying it so far, and it's going to be huge. I'm not enjoying having to take my workbench apart when it gets really big just to film, but we'll deal with that when it happens. But yes, if you want to get this yourself, I do recommend it. There is a link in the description below the video, so you can pick up this part work from the UK, US, or wherever else. The UK, US, and the rest of the world, I think, and the 3 territories got down there. So do go and check it out. Of course, if you want to help support me and this channel, you can do. It would be gratefully appreciated. I depend on my patrons and channel members to keep the channel alive. So do feel free to go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru, or you can simply press the join button underneath any of one of my videos or live streams. Either way, you can support the channel directly. You can get access to early content, advert-free content, and exclusive content, being a patron or a channel member, and you help pay the bills and you help keep this channel alive. So big thank you. Until next time, though, thank you very much for watching. I shall see you on Monday. Take care of yourselves. I hope that the next 5 issues will be a bit more organised in terms of my presentation, because these last 5, they've just been a shambles. But hey, I'm a hobo. I'm the model-making hobo. What do you expect? Take care of yourselves. Adios, amoebas.